what is a norm in one area might not be a norm in a different area, even if it could just be like, on a state by state basis or city by city or and even country by country. But there's just going to be certain things where people are not going to be on the same page. And I think you can learn from the book of Daniel where the way he handles it is, I think, one of the things that is worth learning. The book of Daniel. And shout out to, because me and my small group from my church, we were talking about this at our last session. And the book of Daniel is just really cool because it's very relevant to modern day. And one of the main themes in Daniel, there's a clashing of culture in the book of Daniel where he does things that are counterculture because Daniel was from one nation, but then he was brought into another one. And in the new area, they just did things differently. They had different dietary habits and different norms and stuff like that. And Daniel still, despite being in a new area, didn't really fully assimilate to them. Daniel stood his ground, actually. So there was times where this new culture was being pushed onto him, and he refused. He refused to conform to their ways, even with certain dietary restrictions. There was this one bit about, I think he was put in jail or something, and then there was one of the guardsmen or something said hey, you can only eat so and so, and I can put the Bible verse up on probably find the verses up here on the screen. I'll pop those up, but it was one of those things where he's no, I don't want to do it your way. I'm going to respectfully do it my way. And the way Daniel handled it was a very mature way, because he didn't say, it wasn't framed as if oh, well, I'm right and you're wrong, or my way is better and your way is worse. He just very respectfully declined, and he was very kind and very calm and very respectful about another culture, and said, no, I'm going to respectfully decline in modern day, because you have a lot of very, in my opinion, a lot of things that are just really normalized that I can't partake in. And it's a similar thing where it's I'm just going to respectfully decline. I'm not really going to conform to this type of way, and because I also know that it's kind of spiritually dead on a lot of these things that people are doing. They're, for fornication, and when it comes to the language that people use, and there's some of their habits, gossiping and stuff like this. I'm not about it, man. I'm really not. And so I'm very selective on just kind of who I hang out with these days. But yeah, man, Daniel, I really just recommend reading that one. Especially I'm recording this as a 2026, but it's honestly just relevant all the time, because we live in such a crazy world where everyone's just on their phones, and what is socially acceptable and what isn't, I think sometimes just gets redefined. Not often, but I think that what is a norm in one area might not be a norm in a different area, even if it could just be on a state by state basis or city by city, or and even country by country. But there's just going to be certain things where people are not going to be on the same page. And I think you can learn from the book of Daniel where the way he handles it is, I think, one of the things that is worth learning, is just being able to respectfully decline offers, to you. If you align in a certain way and people are forcing you to do something, if you honestly and personally think it's wrong that they're doing this, and that you want to do it, and you are not comfortable conforming to their ways, then you should be able to respectfully decline, Daniel is just awesome because there's a whole bit with with them getting thrown into the fire, and God being with them. And that's another thing. That's another really powerful thing too. Is God is always with us, man. It might not feel like that. I mean, trust me, man. I definitely have moments where I'm just like, not like stressing out, but I am just like going through it sometimes. And it's just one of those reminders that I need to tell myself that God is always with you, and even in like the toughest times. And and our timing is not God's timing. A lot of the times for me, I get irritated with results not appearing when I want to, or things just not working out in the timings that I would like. But sometimes, man, things are just out of my control. And it's that bit in Daniel where they get thrown into the fire and then they basically come out unharmed. And it was because God was with them. Times of weakness, God is still there with you, man. And it's one of those things where even for me, like I don't tap into that enough. And this is just another reminder, for you guys and myself, that you just have to ping him. You just have to ping Jesus. He's just one little thought away. A well-intentioned message is, I think, all that's needed sometimes, whether that be in the form of like a quick prayer or something. But yeah, man, I just wanted to yap about Daniel, and because that was fresh on my mind for today. So yeah, man, that's pretty much the whole video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.